the seed go? There was a birdhouse full of seed here a couple days ago. I wonder where it all went.
Welcome back to Lazy Logan. I was watching some videos yesterday of other gardeners, and I was just pondering, and I probably should have known this, but I was pondering the usage of fish. And like BubbleBeat, he uses fish emulsion, like liquid fish. There's a Allotment Diary. Dan, he's over in the UK, I believe Scotland. He uses bone meal, which is fish meal. And Hollis and Nancy, Hollis puts in an actual fish underneath the plants he plants. I'm like, okay, so what is it that they're doing with all this fish? And if you look up the information, basically what it is that fish provides nitrogen and other minerals to help grow your plants that need nitrogen. And there are other ways of getting nitrogen into your soil, but fish is like a good one. And when I do the things around my garden, I try to think about, what am I doing? Can I do this if something happened and I couldn't get to the big box store down the road? So BubbleBeat, he buys his fish emulsion by the gallon from online. Dan, I'm assuming he goes to the local big box store and garden store in the UK and gets the bag of it. And Hollis, guess he goes fishing, finds fish. I have a creek in the backyard. There are no fish in there. There is a lake, big lake nearby. Not very great fisherman myself, because I don't do it very often. So I don't know if I could make enough fish to do that to help with the garden. But there is the other way. The other way is to plant winter cover plants like clover and such. Or what people like to do is plant peas and beans. Now I did plant some beans, some bush beans. So those something easily go. And what happens is that beans and peas, they grab the nitrogen from the air and gotta step back. They're more likely to get a bacteria on them, rhizobin, and I probably messed that up. And so they use the plant, the bacteria use the plant to grab the nitrogen from the air and makes little nodules on the roots of the plants. And from there, you would till in those roots for the spring harvest or the next harvest. I know for you the no-till people, that would probably be a big no-no, that you'd have to plant something each year to till back in or stuff like that. But I guess it goes to show that not every technique could probably be used everywhere. It all depends on what your resources are. So let's go to the gardens. Squirrels went up there and ate my 8 pounds of birdseed. So I have to find a solution because it's all gone. It's all gone. Grass is getting covered with crabgrass and other stuff. And I still need to get back here and fix this poor little grapevine. These guys are doing fine. This one does not want to hang on. I keep on putting him over here, hooking him on, and he keeps getting off. I'm not sure why. Grow something to hook on. That one's grown, hooked on good. Corn. It's, you know, I'm surprised it is doing this so early. I would have figured it'd been taller before I shot one of these things up. But then again, these ones down here getting all the shade are the ones that did this. Interesting. See, the little ones are doing that, not the big ones. Over here on the grilling deck, since it's not extremely sunny out due to the fact that we had a rain day all day yesterday and clouds today, you can see the rose plant all the way up to the deck. And if you notice, we're pretty much done with the raspberries. Oh, look at that. Speaking of beans and peas, getting some pods. Got some burn-in damage. I don't know if this is from the heat or what. I did know, I find it interesting that the beans here are growing away from the sun. I guess you could say the sun comes across like that, and they're growing that way. That's kind of weird. Strawberries, still looking good, I guess. Getting leggy. Some flowers on them. So these pots over here, if you forgot, these are Rose of Sharon. And that's the flower that they create. On to the side microgarden. The cucumber's got little flowers here. Plenty little flowers. And that is probably the biggest strawberry I've seen in one of my plants in a long time. So hopefully the birds that have been hanging around the garden tower here don't decide to take that from me before it gets ripe. Raspberries, like I said, getting pretty slim pickings. I have munched on these. Family and I have munched on these. But it looks like maybe one more week and they're done producing. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just cut off the third wire down, just length across, and see if that'll spur more new growth. But I mean, of course, this one that's not producing, it's got plenty of new growth on it, and the one over there, they have some new growth on them too. So I don't know if they're gonna start up again, producing in the fall. I don't know, but we'll cut them down so they're not too tall. The box here, like I said, we had an entire day of rain yesterday, and soil, it feels mushy at the top here, but it doesn't feel like it's, I don't feel like it's completely spongy. I hadn't put in any water for a few days, so hopefully that was good holding off the water, and then we had like I said, we had a lot of rain, and you know, things are looking good, and we'll see how they go. I'll have to come back around and see what that is. If that is what I think it is, that is totally weird, but we'll see that. We'll check that next week. Alright, and the front micro garden. No raspberries to be found on this bush. I think if you can see it, a little tiny solitary bee. I think my overall production of raspberries has to do a lot with the amount of water they were getting. I think I need to get more water on the ones in the back so I can get better produce. Gladiolus is made through the rain. I had them staked up. And I should have came out in the morning, because this morning these yellow flowers were all wide open and blooming. I mean, they were all just spectacular, large. I mean, they were just beautiful this morning. Yeah. Looking good. They're all just growing. Carrots are doing okay with them. And had to pull all that grass out of there, because while I don't mind the cucumbers taking up space, I do mind the grass covering the little bit of the peppers that I do have coming up. So peppers are coming up. Now, isn't this crazy? Shot off a little arm there and wrapped around there. I mean, he's got one over here, but I mean, how does it know? It just shoots him off, I guess. I mean, it grabbed this leaf over here, grabbed its own leaf. That's just, must be some sort of, like, I don't know, sensor of them. It's just crazy. And he's got two of them on there. And this guy, oh, he's just growing everywhere. Rhubarbs down in there. You know, little bugs in there. I might have to try to plant a bunch of things together in order to reduce the chances of bugs, because, you know, it seemed like the idea was that if I, you know, planted different plants, the bugs, you know, they might get one, but then they won't go off to the other, because there's like, hey, I was eating tomatoes and all I found was cucumbers or something like that. It seemed to work, but I don't know what these little fly things are. And that cucumber's grabbed hold right there too. See? He's grabbed right there, he's grabbed right there. I don't know. So whatever these little fly things is, that's like, I think that's a new thing. That's what the basil and the other herbs were supposed to do. Anyways, I think next year the plan would be to, well, the plan was to get tomato plants larger in the first place from indoor growing. I think the plan next year would be get the tomatoes started and then plant the cucumbers to grow up alongside of them instead of taking over everything.